So the specific data set that I'm using is called EICU. It has more than 200,000 ICU stays from over 200 hospitals in the United States.
Yes.
In terms of the data that I'm using, sorry, was there a question?
No, I think it was just someone accidentally turning on their mics.
Okay. Okay, so in terms of the information that we have from here, we have some time series, like we mentioned, some demographics, diagnoses, medications, and lab results. This is just showing an example of one patient's stay during their time in the ICU. So on the right, the color bar is showing that red values mean that the value is higher than the mean value, and blue values mean that this is a low value for this parameter. The thicker strips here are showing the actual data for this parameter. So we can see that the respiratory rate here may be generally low. There's a couple of points where it increases a little bit. The thinner band here is another feature which I've added, which tells the model how fresh the data is. So if it is 1, so red, it means that the measurement has just been taken. And if it's going more towards 0, as we can see around 70 hours into the respiratory rate, that means that the measurement hasn't been refreshed for a few hours. So maybe in the respiratory rate case, the patient has come off a ventilator for 6 hours and then maybe been put back on. But in general, the respiratory rate and the heart rate are automatically logged over time. And then we have the non-invasive blood pressure, which looks like it is taken every 2 hours at this hospital, because we can see this stripy pattern here with a couple of points at which it wasn't taken. So this is actually taken by nurses. So it's likely that in the hospital, the nurses are maybe on an observation rota of 2 hours here. And then the last 3, these are lab results. So we can see that they look very different to the first type of time series here. So they're taken very irregularly, and we can see that maybe from around 80 hours to 104 hours here, it looks like they might be taken about once a day on the right hand side, but on the left it's also very irregular. So there's no reliable pattern, and there's huge gaps before another measurement is taken.